Hold please. I'll be right back after these dope messages. Say cheese. We all know that is the universal signal for let's remember this moment together by tilting our heads to the side and showing off all of our teeth and smiling, right? But have you started tilting your head to the side and avoiding showing off your pearly whites? Maybe you've noticed that the tooth in the front is being super antisocial with your other teeth. So rude. That is completely normal, but it doesn't have to be your case. Back in January 2021, I realized the shifting of my teeth was getting increasingly worse, and I found myself occasionally slurring my words and at times avoiding certain words altogether. Y'all, I was speaking more. I was going live on Instagram more, but I felt like my teeth were holding me back from sharing those gems. I was speaking. Thankfully, my sister told me how cool the peeps at Bates Orthodontics were and how close they were to my house. Listen, you can give me good people who love their job and the people they serve, and I'm in there. I gave them a ring, scheduled my consult, and the rest is straight teeth history. Bates Orthodontics has multiple locations in the Richmond area, and my favorite go-to is their new location in Chesterfield, where Dr. G is providing top-notch care with a side of humor that brings comfort to any newbie interested in being straight teeth peep. I love Bates Orthodontics because they invite me to ask all of my stuck questions. Y'all know I love questions, but they do so without making me feel like I'm a bother to them. They are there to help bring your smile back to life with Invisalign. Invisalign treatment is the clear alternative to metal braces, which I also had decades ago, but I didn't wear my retainer, but that's another story. Invisaligns are for kids, teens, and adults. Call Bates Orthodontics today at 804-258-4268. Again, call Bates Orthodontics at 804-258-4268. Or you can visit them at batesbraces.com. BATESBRACES.com. batesbraces.com and schedule your free consult by clicking the bright green button at the top and following 3 easy steps to reserve your appointment today. Bates Orthodontics, where we're bringing smiles to life. And no worries if you're not local to Richmond, Virginia, just visit Invisalign.com and enter your zip code to find the right Invisalign provider for you in your area. Be sure to tell the dope folks at Bates Orthodontics, Crystal Simmons sent you from the Unstuck Yourself with Crystal Simmons podcast. There is only one you, and that is your superpower. You can't F that up. However, you can get stuck. That's why I created this space called Unstuck Yourself with Crystal Simmons. Unstuck Yourself is about figuring out what has you feeling frustrated, isolated, or depleted of energy so that you're able to unstuck yourself on your journey through life when you don't know how to move forward. Unstuck yourself in your career that no longer excites and challenges you. Unstuck yourself with negative thoughts that seem to be doing cartwheels in your head consistently. I don't have the answers. You do. You always have. I'm providing the time, space, and grace for you to reconnect to that knowing. I'm Crystal Simmons, coach, speaker, and facilitator, and I'm grateful you made it here. Let's begin to unstuck yourself. Welcome back, peeps. It's me, Crystal, your favorite unstuck corporate coach. And as life keeps lifing, which it keeps lifing for me, I'm grateful that I'm still lifing, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows and yeah, this growth and change is serious. But if you too are experiencing life just lifing, don't forget Crystal's AAAs. Increase your awareness to what is and isn't working. So then you can highlight your God-given abilities. So then you can take purposeful, hopefully meaningful, and inspired action. That is the side of life lifing, and I'm making it on the other side. And that conversation would be for another day. I'm still processing it, but I'm allowing myself to feel those feelings, to express them, experience them, even though I try to push them away. Feel the feelings, people, in your own time. But know that when you do address it, and it still is lingering, you may be missing something. I want to give the dopest shout out to Sheila. She is my peer coach, my second peer coach that I had with IPEC as I completed my coaching certification program, which I'll get back to that. I just submitted my final coaching call that has to now go through review. I had to send it off to be transcribed. I sent that in, and they said that could take anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks. But I'm going to claim I am a certified professional coach. Hey! But yeah, shout out to Sheila. I did a coaching call with her, and I shared kind of the things I was going through. Coaching is so dope. But then I would say the first 5 minutes, it was like ping. I had a huge aha moment. I just started laughing because it came out of nowhere. But right before the call, typically you want to have an idea what you want to talk about. But, you know, God's universe works in mysterious ways. And I'm going to let him do it. And it kind of came. Still kind of on topic of what I brought up. But I knew I wanted to use something relative. I wanted to use something real and current. And she was the dopest coach. I had some very tangible examples, and her asking the questions of how I was feeling currently, and it was beautiful. I really appreciate coaching and the dope coaches that I met along my journey, and I know I'm going to continue to meet. I can't say enough about it. It unlocks doors. It unlocks things that are hidden that you don't even know they're hidden. When I talk about awareness, I mean that shit. It could be something subtle of... So the topic is, for today, it is creating new friendships as an adult. Years ago, a couple of friends from the past had told me, you know, you say, well, damn, a lot. I was not aware of it. As soon as they said or asked me the question, do you know you say damn a lot? I was like, really? Y'all, me and my sisters all say it. My mom says it. I think my dad says it too. And that's small. What else are you not aware of that you do on the daily? Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And then you're like, hey, I don't like this shit. What's going on? If you're not aware of it, how are you going to change it? So yeah, that session was dope. Being able to take those actions felt so free. It still was uncomfortable. Don't get me wrong. Change is uncomfortable. And that leads us into creating new friendships as an adult. We're leaving Crystaltown. Oh, no. If you haven't noticed. I gave my Crystaltown update. And yeah, so we're going to move on. Before we dive in, I want to give my top 3 gems to consider when you are creating or considering creating new friendships as a full-on adult. My first one, your values. And we'll dig in a little bit deeper into what that means. But the second one are your feelings and emotions. What emotion comes up when you even think about creating new friendships? What emotions, what feelings? And then the third, what are your expectations with these new friendships? I decided this would be a dope topic because I've always wanted like a group of girlfriends. Like, oh my God, we got this gang. I got my group of homies. Oh, I've known them since I was like 3.5 years old, or we played in the dirt since we were like 5. And I've never had that, but always had my sisters. So they definitely have been my crew, my closest friends and sisters. Like literally, I chose them to be my best friends and didn't even know it. And I also have a best friend. His name is John. We went to high school together. And goodness, we've been friends like, oh my gosh. Wow. 24 years? 24 years, 25 years? Crazy. But yeah, as I get older, some friendships, many friendships have kind of dissolved. Some have been just stopped or cut off. And some have been kind of, maybe we weren't aware, like, hey, I haven't talked to that person in a minute, like text them or call them, or they haven't called me either. So yeah. So as I'm meeting new people, especially venturing into coaching and just being dope and awesome and going out and meeting people and being me, I started thinking, like, who is actively creating new friendships as a full-on adult? Like, with intentions. So I started thinking, if I'm doing this, because again, I wasn't intentional about building friendships or creating those friendships. And I'm thankful for this podcast. I'm thankful for the people that I actually spoke to, like just regular conversation. Shout out to you. If we had like a small conversation, a deep conversation, I appreciate you, because it started sparking these ideas like, oh, I'm not the only one. There's other people out there like that. And that's what I love about podcasting, to connect us, to recognize that we are not alone. We are special, but we're not special in that way. We're not a victim. Things aren't happening to us. It could be happening to so many of us. And instead, we can actually take that and collaborate and come out of it on the other side. So when I get into values, when you are creating new friendships, do you even have values that you are aware of in this current moment? Your values may have changed before, and I would suggest Googling what are values, because matter of fact, I'm gonna do that now. Y'all know I like definitions. What are values? So value. It is the regard that something is held to deserve, the importance, the worth, and usefulness of something. Come on. Or a person's principles or standards of behavior, one's judgment of what is important in life. So no two people have all of the same values. This is not, you need to find your perfect match, because none of us are perfect. And your values shift. It could change. When you grow, you change. You made the decision like, no, I don't value that anymore. For example, one of my big values was splitting house chores with my husband. And I never thought about if I liked washing the dishes or didn't. I just did it. And so I would ask him, hey, are you going to wash the dishes? And he'd be like, I don't want to wash the dishes. I hate washing dishes. And I was like, I want you to want to wash the dishes. And after I lost those arguments, because now I can laugh about it, I value us having clean dishes because I like to eat. That is a bombshell right there. My goal was to eat. And if I don't have silverware or a plate to eat it on, it is slowing my goal down. That's what I value. Not him wanting to wash nobody wants, well, I'm not going to say nobody, but you get what I'm saying? Your values could be growing a family. It could be, I like to have fun. I don't want to be around my friends and talk about everything that's so serious. Like, I'm capable of it, but no. Maybe it's honesty, adventure. You're not okay with just talking on the phone or just walking around the neighborhood together. Like, maybe you want to do like skydiving. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe it's creativity. Like, you want to be around friends who are creative because you're creative. And you know, when you're around those individuals, it's just, y'all just vibe off of each other and you expand and you hear different perspectives from them that maybe you didn't think of. Your values can be anything. I really appreciate vulnerability because, hello, I'm sharing so much of my life and my experiences. I don't do it because I'm bored. I do it because I want to receive it back. That shows that we're able to trust ourselves first, but also we're inviting the other person as well so you can build that trust with them. And you could have a list of 5 that are solid. You could have a list of 3. Brene Brown, in her book, Dare to Lead, she has an exercise based off of you identifying your values. She has this long list of words. I want to say like over 100 words where collaboration's on there, teamwork is on there, having fun is on there, humor. It could be anything, literally. Remember the definition: a person's principles or standards of behavior, one's judgment of what is important in life. So it's your judgment of what's important to you. So in creating those new friendships, consider what your values are first. And as you're venturing out, you don't have to meet new people like, hey, what are your values? But start being aware of it. If you are someone who is always talking about family, that's very important to you, you grow in a family with kids and animals and like a full house, and you want to meet other families with a lot of kids, like you're not going to be out at the club looking for a single woman or a single man to be your friend. Oh no. Like typically, are those in alignment? Maybe they just go out once every so often and they have this big old family. But just keep that in mind. Are my values in alignment with me creating these new friendships with these individuals? Like I said, vulnerability and trust are very huge to me. For any of those who kind of struggle with trust, I'm not one who trusts people. I don't trust everybody. I would just urge you to refer back to episode 25, titled Unstuck Yourself by Unlocking the Power of Trusting. Major conversation that I think you would enjoy listening to. So the second gem, your feelings and emotions. When you think about creating this new friendship, maybe you already started, you met someone and y'all start kicking in, your families, whatever, start kicking it. What are the feelings or emotions that come up before you're going to go meet them? Maybe y'all set a date and maybe you're finding yourself, matter of fact, y'all know I like definitions. Defining feelings is an emotional state or reaction. So your feelings, what is your reaction when you think about scheduling something with them, or you already have something scheduled with them, or the day comes around? What are your feelings and emotion? So emotion is a natural, instinctive state of mind deriving from one's circumstances or mood or relationships with others. So when you think about you getting together with this new friend, are you anxious because you're excited maybe? Are you nervous because you want to appear perfect, or you're holding yourself to a very high standard, or maybe you're putting them on a pedestal, like you admire them? Are you wanting to cancel all the time? And maybe you haven't figured out why. Maybe when you get together, you're so annoyed with them. Like in your head, you're like, I like spending time with them. And then you get there, and for some reason, maybe they're talking about, maybe they're always viewing things from a perspective that seems not productive. Maybe it's a matter of them bringing up past things. Maybe they're referring more to them being a victim, or people are always out to get them. Or maybe they're really happy and joyful and grateful, and they're able to be silly and funny. So you know when you get together, y'all gonna laugh. What are those feelings that come up when you think about this friend or friendship that you're creating? Because, again, none of us are perfect. So it's not about when I hang out with them, it's cool, we have fun, but then they do this one thing that I just hate. I would just explore that and just be aware of it. Think about these 3 scenarios just to wrap up the feelings and emotions. Number 1, think about your feelings and emotions when you're spending time together, while you're there with them. What did I feel? What did I experience? And number 2, what were my feelings and emotions when I'm apart for them? Is it, oh, I can't wait to see them again? Or, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to push this date back because I can't. I am tired and I met with them a month ago. Or what are your feelings and emotions when you get a call from them, or a text, or a DM? Are you like, oh, leave me alone? Or are you like, hey, I love seeing your name pop up? Be mindful of that and honor those feelings. When you're thinking about those 3 things, spending time together, or that time when y'all are apart, or when you get a call or a text or a DM from them, do you get images in your mind? Do you feel annoyed? Are you irritated? Are you excited? Are you curious of when y'all going to hang out again? Do you have comfort? Like it's just easeful with them. Because that'll help you build those relationships too, wherever you want it to go, pretty much. And that leads into the third gem of creating new friendships as an adult, your expectations. I hate to break it. None of us are mind readers. Did you know that? So if you're expecting something from this friend that you have not communicated to them, you have not given them the inclination that this is a high value for you or this is not an acceptable value for you, what are your expectations? The first question that comes up is, how would you describe a friend? And I love this question. I just typed it out before I got on. Because friend can be used so many different ways. I got a friend at work. My neighbor's my friend, even though I just say, hey. Or you met someone in the grocery store, exchange numbers, and you're like, yeah, I met a new friend. What is a friend? What are your expectations of what a friend is? And I want to give a huge shout out to Whitney. She has the mobile massage company. I told you I was going to get my massage, and I did. And she was so sweet. She actually told me how she's enjoying the podcast. And I just started asking her questions like, what did she like about it? And we got on the topic of friendship because I told her I wanted to do an episode about friends. She was so gracious, and she shared this little piece. She was like, I'm my own friend. And I was like, ooh, that's huge. Sometimes I feel like I'm missing out based off what other people portray on social media or in their stories. And they talk about growing up with their crew since third grade or playing in the dirt, like I said earlier. And as I shared that, Whitney also shared, nobody's missing out. It just takes some perspective. Is that codependency where you just have people around just to say I have people around? Or you're not capable of venturing out. And if your friend hates going to day parties, but you love going to day parties and y'all always go everywhere together, it's going to put a strain on, but I really want to go to this day party. So is that codependency, or is it a matter of I'm my own friend first, and if you want to come along, you can come along? And that's what Whitney was saying. She was just like, I'm going to do this. If you want to come with me, cool. If you don't, I'm still going to do it. And I just thought that was so admirable because I haven't said that out loud to myself or on the podcast, but I'm starting to do that now. Before, if I plan something, I'm thinking about if my sisters want to go, if my husband wants to go. And now I'm in this mode of, I'm going to go by myself. And that was based off the actual day party I went to a couple weeks ago when I had my long pink skirt on, where I invited a friend, but she wasn't capable of going. And immediately my brain was like, well, we're going to have to show up by ourselves. And I was thankful for that thought. But I remember, this was a long time ago. Me and a friend, we were double dating. I was dating Devon, and she was dating someone else. I remember she was mad at her boyfriend. And we were all at dinner, joking and laughing. I don't know what happened. But she was upset. And she was like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I didn't go with her. And you could say I'm wrong. You could say I'm right. I didn't go with her. And what do you think happened? What do you think happened? Well, she added me to the list. She told me I should have came with her to the bathroom because she was upset. For the people in the back, I'm not a mind reader. And now that that's happened or occurred, maybe I would ask again, like, are you sure you're going to be good? Me and this individual are not friends, but I remember being like, how am I in trouble? And it could be a girl code that I'm not aware of. Who made the code? Is there a book somewhere? Somebody have it on Google Drive? Where can I find this book? It was just so interesting to me. But yeah, so she got mad at me. In thinking of that, have you expressed strong expectations with your friends so that you can avoid this? Because again, nobody's a mind reader. Are you more of, well, what type of friend are you? Are you more of, I'll see you when I see you type of friend? Or are you the type that we need to talk every day? I want to text. We need to have trips all the time. That might be some of your values as well. Me and my best friend, John, he lives in Florida. And whenever we pick up after months of not talking, years of not seeing each other. It's like we never left. Like, seriously, never left. And I've heard people say that before, and I'm like, that's cool. But when he moved some years back, it just came to be. And I enjoy it. I know he has love for me. I have love for him. And if there's a problem, I know he would pick up for me as would I for him. So that's really dope. In the past, I always thought I was missing out because I didn't have this big group of core friends, of girls. And even thinking about this episode and talking to people, I'm like, I actually am very blessed, and I'm grateful for the new friendships I'm creating purposefully, intentionally, and honestly. Like, I am that friend where I could be by myself. Like Whitney said, I am my friend. I'm my own friend first, and I always have been. But I just needed words to go with it. And it felt affirming and dope as fuck too. So that's what I'm doing. But in the past, I think I did venture out to groups of girlfriends that maybe our values no longer lined up. And just going back, I don't know if they ever did, but I'm giving myself grace and allowing myself to feel those feelings. And even though I might miss that group just because we have, like, it's apparent we have grown apart. But speaking to my therapist and her mentioning dialectic thinking, where two opposites can be true at the same time, where I can miss that group of ladies and hanging out, but I can also recognize we have grown apart respectfully. So this is your reminder, or invitation to be intentional with creating new friendships as an adult. If you don't do it now, when will you do it? If you keep changing and your friends keep changing and you all start drifting, when do you replenish those friendships? And I'm not saying you have to, every time you drift apart from one friend, you got to replace it with another. But I've just been thinking, as you know, time goes on, I like experiencing new people. I like gaining their perspectives and learning from them. It is quite pleasurable for me. I enjoy it. And now that I have words to put to it, I have a clear intention for that action, I'm excited. And I can always go back to those three things of what are my values, what are my feelings and emotion as I'm creating this friendship, and what are my expectations. A newer friend, she told me straight up, I'm really bad at texting, but she is reliable. If I invite her somewhere, she is most definitely coming if she can. And I appreciate that because we have a good time together, but we also allow each other space where I'm not holding it against her like, you keep being busy. I'm grateful to have the time to spend with her, as I think she is of me. So, yeah, this was fun. I hope this was helpful. And I also, to add to Whitney's point of she's her own friend, I do believe as a person who didn't have a lot of friends, so I was like a homebody, I had to figure out what I enjoyed first. I spent a lot of time listening to music, watching movies, dancing to music videos. So I had to figure out what entertained me, what excited me early, and that was solid. So I did that at an early age. And, you know, I think it's beneficial. Before I would say, I just kind of stayed to myself. But in all honesty, my mom, shout out to her, was very protective. So if I wanted to go to a friend's house, she needed to know who was there. If it was both parents, are both parents going to be there? Are you going to be there only there with a dad? Then you can't go. What are their phone numbers? Where do they live? And I was like, I ain't got time for all this. I'm not doing a background check on my friends' parents. So I didn't do a lot of venturing out. But I say all that to say, try it out. As you get older, there's such value in creating friendships, period. Whether they're new, old, you're rekindling friendships, you could start with those 3 gems to ensure a clear friendship. What are we doing here? What do you want to do? And have fun. It's not like a job, but yeah, have fun. I want to thank y'all for being here with me today and pausing, thinking about these questions, pretty much doing the work by just listening. Maybe it's something you've never asked yourself, or maybe it's something you've been thinking about. Kudos to you. I celebrate you because change is hard and life is changing constantly. So just give yourself grace, which means later on today, if some feelings or aha moments arise that brings about a little bit discomfort, you're like, I don't like this. That is completely understandable and it is to be expected. Feel it, name it. Like if you feel something in your chest or butterflies in your gut or however your intuition kind of hits you, name it. Oh man, listening to that podcast really sparked something in me. I'm feeling kind of sad. I miss my old friends, or I'm feeling kind of nervous to meet new people, or I'm kind of excited to actually just try it. Just name it and let it be. You are safe, you are secure, and allow yourself to feel whatever comes up. Feelings are not facts, and most of the time they don't even represent the present moment. You are dope. So if no one else told you today, I just did. I'm Crystal, the Unstuck Corporate Coach, telling you to stay curious, and we will talk next week. Until then, peeps, get unstuck. Peace.